him that Diddy's going to be in custody at least until May 2025. I think he's just having a tough time coming to terms with it.
It's the ultimate fall from grace. Sean Diddy Combs, the billionaire mogul who once reigned supreme in the music industry, is now fighting for his sanity behind bars. The man who owned yachts, threw million-dollar parties, and lived like royalty is now living in a cramped, filthy cell. But here's the shocking twist. Diddy's life in prison isn't just about surviving the squalor, it's a ticking time bomb of secrets, breakdowns, and jaw-dropping scandals that are shaking his empire to its core. What really pushed Diddy to his breaking point? And why are even his closest allies abandoning him? This is the untold story of Diddy's darkest days. And trust us, you won't believe what's happening behind closed prison doors. Diddy wasn't just a celebrity, he was a cultural icon. With his empire spanning music, fashion, and even liquor, he seemed untouchable. But all that changed in September 2024 when the FBI swooped in and arrested him on charges that left the world in shock: racketeering, witness tampering, and allegations that sent chills down the spine. Now, the man who once boasted about bad boy for life is living a nightmare in the notorious Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. This isn't a white-collar retreat. It's a hellhole known for overcrowding, violence, and some of the worst conditions in the U.S. prison system.
The place where he's locked up now getting a lot of attention. The Metropolitan Detention Center, the only federal jail in New York City, is known for violence, poor conditions, and a string of celebrity detainees.
And for Diddy, the reality of being stripped of his power is hitting hard. Here's where it gets wild. Sources from inside the prison claim that Diddy's first few weeks behind bars were a disaster.
So this isn't someone who's a hardened criminal who has spent a lot of time in custody. So the fact that he's spending Christmas and New Year's and future holidays in prison is probably finally getting to him.
He reportedly begged guards for special treatment, only to be laughed at and thrown into general population. The breaking point? Christmas 2024. While the world celebrated, Diddy was left in his cold, bleak cell. Insiders reveal he had a full-blown meltdown, screaming at guards, demanding medical attention, and even claiming he was on the verge of a heart attack. He was reportedly escorted to the prison infirmary, but not before fellow inmates mocked him relentlessly.
And that Diddy's going to be in custody at least until May 2025. I think he's just having a tough time coming to terms with it.
He's not the Diddy we all knew, one source said. He's broken. If you thought Diddy's prison struggles were bad, wait until you hear about the allegations piling up outside. His arrest opened Pandora's box, unleashing a wave of lawsuits and accusations that paint a horrifying picture of his past. One lawsuit alleges that Diddy masterminded a twisted culture of control and abuse at his infamous parties. Another comes from LaTroya Grayson, who claims a promotional contest sponsored by Diddy's companies in 2006 ended in her being drugged and assaulted. But it doesn't stop there. Prosecutors accuse Diddy of attempting to tamper with witnesses even while behind bars. They claim he's been using other inmates' phone accounts to make illegal calls, allegedly trying to sway testimonies in his favor. If proven true, this could seal his fate as one of the most notorious falls from grace in entertainment history. Sean Diddy Combs, the once untouchable music mogul, now finds himself living a nightmare that couldn't be further from his lavish lifestyle. Gone are the days of private jets and five-star dinners. His reality is a cold, unforgiving 6-by-8-foot cell with peeling paint, a thin, lumpy mattress, and a rusted metal toilet that offers no privacy. The air reeks of sweat, mildew, and despair, a far cry from the fragrance-filled suites he once called home. The cafeteria is no better. Instead of curated meals prepared by private chefs, Diddy now eats unappetizing bologna sandwiches and lukewarm slop served on flimsy trays. Under the harsh fluorescent lights, he sits surrounded by hardened criminals, some of whom grew up idolizing him, but now see him as an opportunity. A billionaire trapped in their world. Reports of extortion are constant. Inmates have cornered him in the yard, demanding protection money in exchange for his safety. One chilling account described a group warning him, "You're rich out there, but in here, you're just like us. Pay up or you'll regret it." Even the guards show no sympathy, openly mocking him by calling him inmate number 364891 or sneering, "Money can't buy you respect in here." Diddy's mental state is deteriorating rapidly. Stripped of his power and influence, he spends hours pacing his cell, muttering prayers or mantras in a desperate attempt to regain control. His efforts to practice breathing exercises, once a hallmark of his wellness retreats, are met with ridicule. Inmates have taken to calling him Zen Puff, mocking his attempts to find peace in the chaos. The relentless noise of prison life, shouting, clanging doors, and violent altercations makes rest nearly impossible. Accustomed to the silence of sprawling estates, he now lies awake, staring at the cracked ceiling, haunted by his fall from grace. He's reportedly asked his lawyers for noise-canceling earplugs, a request that was swiftly denied. His legal team is fighting to move him to house arrest, offering up his Miami mansion as an alternative. But prosecutors argue he's a flight risk, citing his wealth, private jets, and global connections. For now, the court remains unmoved, leaving Diddy trapped in a world where his fame and fortune mean nothing. This isn't just a fall from grace. It's a brutal, unrelenting dismantling of the life he once knew. Every passing day behind bars strips away the aura of the mogul, leaving only a man struggling to survive in a world he never imagined. Diddy's legal team is throwing everything at the wall, but nothing is sticking. They've proposed millions in bail, GPS monitoring, and even house arrest in his $30 million New York penthouse. The court's response? A resounding no. Why? Prosecutors argue that Diddy is a flight risk with the resources to disappear anywhere in the world. They also claim he poses a danger to the community, citing his alleged witness tampering as proof. And while his lawyers are scrambling, Diddy's once loyal inner circle is reportedly starting to distance themselves. Nobody wants to be associated with him anymore, one source said. His name is toxic. Diddy's transformation is startling. Gone is the polished, charismatic mogul. In his place is a man who looks frail, gaunt, and defeated. His signature swagger has been replaced with a shuffling walk, and his trademark grin is now a permanent scowl.
Prison insiders describe him as paranoid, constantly looking over his shoulder and refusing to trust anyone. Even his attempts to meditate have been mocked by fellow inmates, who reportedly nicknamed him Zen Puff. The once unstoppable force in music is now a shadow of his former self, struggling to survive each day. Diddy's empire is crumbling, and his legacy is hanging by a thread. The man who built Bad Boy Records, launched countless careers, and became a global icon is now facing a future that looks anything but bright. With his trial set for May 2025, the stakes couldn't be higher. If convicted, Diddy could spend decades behind bars. And even if he somehow escapes prison, his reputation might never recover from the avalanche of scandals and accusations. So, what's next for Sean Diddy Combs? Will he rise from the ashes and reclaim his throne? Or is this the final chapter in the story of a fallen king? One thing's for sure, the world will be watching every twist and turn in this explosive saga. Stay tuned, because this story is far from over, and the secrets yet to come might just be the most shocking of all.